gentlemen, y'all know who I am. I am Alex Babbitt, and you are here on another episode of Behind the Micstand. Thank you for watching. I love to see you every time. But you're also here for my guest. Now, my guest, good friend of mine in comedy. She's like low-key an asshole, but but truly hilarious, and I love her and enjoy it. It has become one of my favorite people in the scene to get to know. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Zubi Ahmed, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
My parents believe that black magic has been done to them. You know, that's why they have diabetes. Willing to communicate with their spouse. It's because a jealous aunt or ugly cousin did some black magic on them, okay?
Come on, bang.
Look at that, you got my last name right.
Come on! It took like 80 tries off camera. Off camera, the tries were bananas.
Well, thank you, Alex Babbitt.
It's Bobox. What's up, Zubi? That's actually what I call you in like day to day, because I learned your name through Allison, who's also been a guest on the show.
Yes.
And
One
Usama.
of my favorite people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. To give context to how I retained you, thought you were a comedy groupie, hands down. Hands down, I thought you were making love to some comedians. None in particular. I would just see you, and you was so happy.
She's fucking somebody.
Yeah. It's because the first, you know, like you see people all the time for a while before it like really retains.
Yeah.
The time I remember, I did what's that dude's name? I just had him on my show too, Yodoye. I did a show that was Yodoye and Sam Morrison show. I don't know if you remember this, on the Lower East Side. It was before the pandemic, all this other stuff, but I saw you there. I remember seeing you before, but I saw you here. You was like, Alex, great set, this, that, and the third. You're friends with my friend, Allison, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, cool. In my head, I'm like, who's she fucking? She's too enthusiastic. I don't like it. I didn't know at the time you was doing stand-up as well. So.
I was starting out.
So I wouldn't have retained it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Now, I only knew you because Allison spoke very highly of you, and then she like made me go to. She was on a show of yours that you were doing. I think it was your birthday show or something like that.
Maybe.
And I was
at Caroline, at West Side, maybe.
West Side, yes.
Wow, yes. Wow, you came to that. That's so interesting.
I did.
Okay.
I almost paid the money, but then Allison was like, no. I was like, no, I want to support. She knew how much I was making because we worked at the same place.
Oh, she was like, you don't have it.
She's like, Zubi, stop pretending.
No, trust me, there's money here. No, there isn't. I know how you spend money. There's nothing there.
We just went to Forever 21 together. I know you don't have it.
You spent $8 more than you had. That's so funny.
Yeah, so we didn't meet that night, but we met like kind of in passing, but I was like, yo, he's really funny, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to a show that Usama was on, because I was supposed to meet him because I was casting him for this short film that I was working on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I had a whole life.
That's okay.
Outside of comedy.
Ooh, so now I have to know it. The origins. So did you start out as a writer based off the short story information? Yeah,
so I started as like in sketch and improv before I did any of the other stuff. So I started at UCB. I was doing like a lot of like sketch writing and improv and shit like that, and never felt comfortable in improv. It's way too white.
White.
So white. And never really felt comfortable. And then I got into grad school and I was like, well, I can't spend so much time doing like sketch and improv because it's very time consuming and like it costs money because you got to rent out space and you got to hire a coach and blah, 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 all this shit. And like, you know, you're working with a team of people. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to step away from that for a moment, but I still loved comedy. So I was like, yo, I really want to continue like being on stage and like, you know, being funny and finding ways to entertain. So I started doing stand-up when I went back to grad school. When I went to grad school.
Oh shit. So grad school was like right after college, like last couple of years?
It was, well, I didn't go right after. I think I went like 4 years after I graduated, 4 or 5 years after I graduated college. So in 2017, I started grad school. And in grad school, I got my degree. I got an MFA in TV production. So, yeah.
Someone has credentials. Okay. I didn't realize you were this
Ask me about
fancy.
apple boxes, bitch. I know.
What are apple boxes?
So they're the little boxes that you can use to like stand on. They come
Stools?
No. They're like actual boxes. That you run a studio here. You should know what an apple box is.
I do know what I was testing you. Yeah. I know what an apple box. I got a bunch of apple boxes, apple bottoms, apple boxes, everything, Apple iPhone. Nonetheless, let's continue with you. This is my stupidity. It kicks in every episode.
Yeah, so I went to Brooklyn College, and it was my first year in doing this MFA, and we had to all write and direct a short film. So I wrote this film. It was about a Bengali family, and I was like, yo, Usama's perfect to cast in this. So that's how I got to know Usama.
And how'd you meet Usama?
Another friend of ours actually did us.
Small world.
Yeah. So through that, that's when I went to that show, and I saw you in that like little bar, back of the bar show or whatever. And I think I met sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to.
You met Ro. She's about to just point off screen. I think I met Ro. My production assistant, my fiance, my unpaid intern.
Your lifeline, actually.
Why does everyone say that?
Because we know it's true. Yo, do you know what I would give for a wife right now? Like, I don't want a partner, like any gendered person. No, I want a wife, okay? I have 1.5 meals a day. And my bedroom is a mess.
I need someone to solve this.
I need help.
That's what this whole
A man's
episode.
not gonna help you. You need a wife.
That's your family upbringing coming out. That's clearly a Bengali family just pulling up. Men don't clean, women clean.
I'm so misogynist.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And it's against
I'll be
you.
gay. I don't care.
It's not in your favor at all. And you sitting there. You know who does the dishes? Me. It's so funny. Oh man, yeah. Having somebody. I forgot where I heard it, but you got somebody who just like wants you to be alive. It's very helpful. That's all it is. She just doesn't want me to die, and I use that to my full advantage. You don't want me to die? Feed me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but nah, I feel it's good gauge. Good gauge.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Especially when you're in this life, like, you know, I work now full time, and I do comedy at night, so it's like really hard to keep up with other life shit. Like, I don't have clothes. This is why I'm wearing a sweater in 90-degree weather.
You had no idea. You don't need a wife. You need Alexa. That's all you needed. You thought you gotta settle down. I need to settle down because I don't know the weather. Get Alexa. Save up some bread.
She's not gonna cook me food.
Very true. Very true. Come on. Wife's coming in handy. All right, now I got a couple questions, right?
Okay.
One, do you find yourself wanting to like have a family in this entertainment business? Because I be thinking about that all the time.
I think I like my upbringing whispers it into my ears. You know, I get that like, oh, I want a family.
What's the upbringing for people who don't know?
So I'm Bangladeshi and Muslim. So, you know, for us, having a family is like part of the religion, you know. It really is.
It's God, husband.
It really is, though. It's I don't know. Like they put marriage at such a high esteem. It's like really hard to get that out of your like brain and your system or whatever. I don't know, but I could see myself being a mom. But I don't know in what, like, in the traditional sense what that would look like, because I can't imagine, like, I don't know, like living in the suburbs or whatever, like, you know, cooking breakfast and whatever.
Is it because you can't cook?
No, I can cook. I cook really well.
I'm giving you, I told you I'm getting you a husband. Forget this episode. That's my goal.
That is Alex's #1 concern for me.
I just want to go to a brown wedding, and you're the closest I have to. That's the secret.
You have Usama.
Yeah, but he's not getting married no time soon.
He at least has a girl.
It means nothing to me. You're the one I chose. You're the one making it happen.
I hate you.
You know,
I
I
get
love
more
you, man.
pressure from Babbitt than from my parents to get married at this point. Every other week I get a text, so when are you getting married? Where's your man?
And, I don't even mean it, but it's fun as shit to do. If you just look at my text thread, it really just is that. So where's your husband? Elvira's mom, I'm helping. But that's interesting. Did you grow up in an environment where where your family was the religion was a part of life?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Muslim upbringing is very much just, you grow up watching your parents pray 5 times a day, read the Quran, and then they hammer it into you and you're like, no, I don't want to do this.
Not 5 times, maybe 2.
2.5.
So you pray, you get to the middle and
you're like, all right, I'm done. I've done my part.
God knows my heart, or Allah knows my heart.
Allah knows my heart.
That's great. Yeah, 'cause my brother actually, surprisingly enough, he studies Islam. So I watched him do the prayer, and I went to mosque with him after high school, and it was just I felt out of all the religions I've been exposed to, because I grew up Catholic, I felt a sense of camaraderie when going there. You see everybody praying together, so it feels more like a bonding experience. But did you feel that or no?
I think so. I don't know how to put this quaintly, but when you're growing up poor, it's harder to create that community because they fall into a more misogynist trope than what Islam is actually supposed to be. Islam is supposed to be community, what you saw, that beautiful getting together and and praying together and stuff like that. But in a poor neighborhood like mine, we have this one mosque where they don't have space for women. So it was hard. Literally they would give us the basement that was leaking. And it's well, we're not gonna go there.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it's hard in that sense. And I think that's why I had a hard time with Islam too, growing up, because it was just I'm sure you can relate to this with Catholicism. It's you do this or you go to hell,
Yeah, it's an absolute kind of thing.
Yeah.
So middle ground. God or Allah is just mean. It's just
yeah. And it is growing up, it is a lot of finding your way back. I thought before I went to college, when I was in high school, I was nah, I'm agnostic now. And then I I can't believe that a Catholic school turned me back to Islam. I went to Fordham University in the Bronx, and I was nah, these Jesuits are wild. I'm going back to Islam.
Allah's not that bad. You're just in a leaky basement praying. It's all right. That's so funny. It's just Catholic school is just creepier. It's a creepier environment.
I went to the church. I've been to a few churches actually, and it's just a haunted experience. I'm gonna get exercised here.
Yeah.
I don't want that experience.
It does feel more spirit. It felt like Catholic school got ghosts in it. You know what I mean? That's just how it feels. I remember going to Catholic school, and we had to go to a part of the curriculum. It's you go to church on Wednesdays or something.
Yeah.
And you just there. You're this is nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I mean, I did my experience. I'm glad I went to Fordham.
You've had a bunch of hood experiences that I did when first meeting you. I was oh, clearly from another country, but I went all stereotypes.
Mexican.
Yeah. Good old Samoan just sneaking in here. And I
would have at least been 6 feet tall if I was Samoan.
No, don't. That's The Rock. That's the only one.
No, that's not.
Everybody else is Mexican looking. This is going to be crazy.
You have to cut this part out.
It's going to be a crazy episode. Keep in mind, I respect everybody's culture and religion, and I have no real stance on anything. I'm really stupid and just joking around. I love everybody. We're going to take this commercial break to say, thank the world. Hey guys, we took a quick commercial break. I'm glad you're always listening and watching. Please subscribe on the audio versions. You can now listen to the episode on Spotify or wherever you listen to music and content and podcasts. We love y'all. Let's get back to this episode. And we're back. It's perfect. It's a perfect place to do that. But I didn't know you grew up in the environments that you grew up, because you said you grew up in East New York, which, like, I grew up in Bed-Stuy, borderline East New York, where I live now, and it's that's the hood.
Yeah.
So watching you, I'm like, you made it. You survived.
We both made it.
I know, but you really made it. Like,
With your short ass.
you had to
And
survive.
that stupid smile.
Well, I thought the smile was kind of nice. And you're gonna stop talking down upon yourself. Your husband's never coming with that attitude. But like, what was that? Cause did you come here, like you were born in New York?
I was actually born in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Chicago. I moved to New York in the first grade because my mom's entire family was here. And so when my brother got sick, he's got disabilities and stuff. He's a double amputee. When my brother got sick, we didn't really have like that kind of support in Chicago. So we were like, okay, well, my mom's entire family is here, and like we get a little more support. We could buy a house here. We're living in an apartment in Devon, in Chicago. So where like all the brown people are. So. We moved to New York. I started the first grade here, and yeah, boom, I'm a New Yorker.
Man, boom, bam. But off air, you said you had never been to no plays. Every New Yorker's been to plays. Y'all couldn't have been that poor.
Yeah, it's not just being poor. It's also being kind of ignorant to these things, you know? Because like it's like when you're immigrants, you don't really know what these things are. Like, I would like watch the Tonys and stuff like that, and I'd be like, what is this for? Like, why am I watching this?
What are they celebrating? What? Is this a musical? Is this
white people in dresses?
Did you grow up with like Bollywood entertainment?
Yeah.
So it's not even as fun to watch.
It's not even as fun. Yo, I would say that all the time. Because I would watch, like, my mom would try to make me cultured as a kid. Like, she would be like, watch the Oscars. And I'm like, but it's boring. It's so boring.
It is.
And also, I did not watch any of these movies. You did not watch any of these movies. Why are we watching the Oscars?
That's the fun thing about the Oscars. 90% of the movies in there, you're like, when did this come out? Was this an AMC? I've never seen this movie.
Never seen it. Oh my God.
It is boring. And you know, I've been exposed truly through like y'all and other comics and entertainers, like seeing like some Bollywood films and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, this looks fun.
Yeah, and then if you watch the award shows too, they're way more fun than like the Oscars and the Grammys and shit, because like they pull out all the stops. They got dancers, they got lights, they got shows, they got jokes, they got all this shit.
It's the BET Awards for brown people.
It is.
Yeah, the BET Awards be just as fun. Like, oh shit, Omarion's pop locking? What? And he has a tank? Why does he have a tank? Yeah, that's great. That's so culturally, your culture is like a big part of like how you identify, how you go through the world. Mm-hmm. How is it also that important to you, like to maintain that in your like stand-up and entertainment process? Absolutely.
I think like when I do stand-up, I feel like when I first started stand-up, I was trying to, you know, appeal more to the white audience or like the white gaze, I guess, because I didn't really know how to gauge it. And like, you know, I was starting out in like the Brooklyn mics and shit like that, and it's very white once again. So I was like, I don't know what my voice is, and I didn't find myself very funny at that point. But once I like stepped into my true nature of who I am, that's when like the jokes started hitting. Everything, like once you're genuine, people feel that, and you just let go, and that's it. That's your whole.
What I feel.
That's your spirit on the stage.
Just titty heat. But no, I do understand what you mean, and if I could like paraphrase or try to take it in, it's when you sit in your truest sense of who you are, you stop trying to be Zubaira. You just exist because you're funny. You're naturally funny. You're naturally a good spirit. Just that's why, you know, I enjoy talking to you and stuff like that, truly. And like once again, I said at the beginning, you're an asshole. But like top tier, I'm talking top tier, bang, 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 one for the guns. Is anybody else in your like environment, like who gave you the confidence, and also who do you feel like you're most inspired by in like your life, I guess?
Who gave me the confidence to do stand-up or like
To be who you
get out of East New York?
Well, both. Was it bus driver? Get out.
If you know what's good for you, stop taking the A train.
Well, let's see. Give both.
I guess, okay, I was a real nerd growing up. So my inspiration to get out of my situation was always like books and movies and shit like that. You know, it was just like very inspired by, like, that's the reason why I did stand-up, was because I love to write. I always wanted to write a sitcom and be in a sitcom, you know, and I like feel like that fantasy world is what protected me a lot from the environment that I grew up in.
So interesting.
Yeah.
My mom used to say that about books. Books made me sleepy, but you, they protected you. There's a good shield.
Well, because I would read shit like Fear Street, and I was like, you know what? As long as a ghost isn't possessing me, I'm fine with living in East New York.
Ain't no ghosts in the hood, so you good. That's so, wow. So like you would consider yourself a nerd to like, were you like an introverted nerd in a sense? Or like you had friends?
I was never introverted. I was very much always, like in the books, the main character was always the you know, quiet, shy girl who like, you know, I don't know, was very smart and like, you know, well-spoken and shit like that. And I was never that bitch, so I was never gonna be that bitch.
Wait, you weren't the main character in the book, in the fiction you was reading? You was like, this ain't me. I'm clearly...
I was trying to be that, but everything around me was like, nah, bitch, you not that.
It's like, I'm not the main character. You're the tree.
You're the funny side character. There's a serious thing going down right now, and Zubi's gonna crack a joke.
That's so funny. You're the comic relief in your imagination. That's so funny to me. Your inner voice is like, wait for the main character to talk, and then you go. That's so odd. That's because most people make themselves, you know, when they're like in their imaginary world, it's super grandiose. But the way you're saying it just sounds like it literally wasn't that. I think
just for someone who read so much, right? Like growing up, like reading so many books like that, were surrounded, like when the main character was introduced, it was like, if you like read like fucking Nicholas Sparks books and shit like that, like The Notebook or like any of those books, like, you know, these girls are all just like...
I love your sound effects for this episode. Girl, just... And everybody knows what
I have words. I read a lot, but I didn't remember any of it. Didn't retain shit.
Huh. That's just every girl. Huh.
They're very dainty and like, you know.
I'm having so much fun in this episode.
Yeah.
But I get it. They were more like docile. And,
yes, docile.
I'm here with you.
Thank you.
I don't read a lot, but my vocabulary is excellent. It's top tier shit. Hey guys, what's up? Y'all know me, I'm Alex Babbitt. I'm just here to do a quick commercial break and tell you about some things we got going on. Check out my comedy albums, 9421 and Finally Defined. If you really enjoy comedy, I promise you'll enjoy these two albums, and we got a lot more comedy coming up. But even more so, follow Behind the Micstand at Behind the Micstand on Instagram and on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We love it so much, and we appreciate your constant support. Thank you, and let's get back to this episode. So, who inspired you to get out the hood and make a difference for yourself?
Definitely my grandfather, who worked for the mafia.
It sounds like a movie. Oh, we can't explain everything that just happened, but I'm sticking to it. That's what happened. There was a lot of behind the scenes movie magic, baby.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. It's fine.
It's fine. It was your grandfather who had ties to the mob.
Yeah.
Was he an informant, a number runner?
No, yeah, he did run numbers. He did like.
Did you help him? You seem to have a lot of information on this.
No, I was not born yet. I was born in 1990.
Okay. So did your father number run?
No, my father was. This is my mom's side of the family.
Okay.
So none of the kids really did. No.
Your mom ain't number run?
Her sister though, like would collect the money.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah. It was like really weird shit. I don't know. My family's got some weird ass history with New York, and yeah, that's why like I feel so connected to this place, and I believe myself to be a New Yorker no matter what.
Did your family come from Bangladesh?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, they moved from Bangladesh. So when my grandfather actually moved from Bangladesh right after the war in 1971, which is we fought Pakistan.
Why'd you tip your hat like there's some Pakistani people back behind the camera? You know what you did. Comedy gold. It's so fun.
No, because there's genocide deniers out here. Okay. You know. But anyways, so after my grandfather, he fought in that war, and then after the war, like after Bangladesh gaining independence, there was like a lot of like different factions of Bengali like liberation and things like that, and some of the people that fought in the war were being hunted kind of by like police and shit like that. So my grandfather thought the best thing to do was to flee to America, where his cousin was already working for the mafia, and therefore he came to. Actually, he lived in Nostrand at the time.
Nostrand Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once he moved there, the only way to survive in that kind of, place was to either work for the mafia or die, I guess. I don't know. And he was like, well, I just escaped death, so I'm
not going back to that one.
So yeah, I will work for the mafia.
It's not that bad. Good benefits. They got dental. That'd be wild. But I respect those stories from our ancestors, if you will.
Yeah.
That kind of get you to who you are, because it also. Do you think in any way your grandfather or upbringing sparked the level of resilience that you may have just as an entertainer or as a human being in general?
Absolutely. I feel like I think you understand this. Like there are times where I'm just like, well, I don't know if this is all worth it, but I love it so much I will ride through my darkest days in it, because honestly whenever I do stand up, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. I can have my worst day ever. Like yesterday was one of those days where I just felt like I had like the worst day. I was emotionally just tapped out and tired, like I was just done. I was done. And then I got on stage and I was like, I love my life.
Life's pretty good. Pretty damn good.
How lucky am I? I'm in a basement. I love it.
Come on, guys. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, but it's true. It's an important thing of, like, I guess, finding. We talked about it on multiple episodes of the show. The importance of finding your passion. Mm-hmm. So many people just live a life. But do you feel like when you get on stage, or is it entertaining for you, or is it the stage? Like, what is it that brings you the truest joy of the thing that is stand-up?
I think it is kind of community building. Like you're in a room full of people, you don't know these people, but then you make them laugh, and it all just feels like we're together on this, and I just think that that's like one of my favorite things about comedy, because I could do, you could do anything else. I don't know, I could do art, I could draw.
Not with that attitude. I just clearly didn't believe that you have drawing ability.
I do, actually. I was actually really good at drawing.
I can do art. Like, all right, okay. And I can do space shuttles. Like, we're just throwing shit to the wind.
But I don't know. There's just like this instant gratification with comedy. I feel like, you know, like I love filmmaking. I actually really love, you know, writing and making, like making that short film and the web series that I worked on. I loved it, but it's just so grueling, and I don't want to say easier with stand-up, but it is like you get to see your work come to fruition a lot faster.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So that's kind of what I love about it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, and it's very true, because that's what I've talked to a lot of other forms of artists. So like the people who like they draw for a living, they sing for a living, like that's what they do. They're like, man, they're all so scared of stand-up. Like, Jesus Christ, we're the only one that have to train in with our audience. Like you can't, like, I can't think of a joke at home and then just know it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? I have to get on stage. You have to get on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a song.
Yeah.
If you could do anything else, would you? Like, like what would be the other thing that you'd be interested in doing if you could?
Like, that's not in the arts at all, or
maybe?
Like, I always wanted to be a choreographer.
I want to be Brown Britney Spears. That's what you want to do?
I had this dream. Yo, can I tell you something?
Yes.
When I was like in middle school, I was kind of like chubby or whatever. My parents bought this treadmill, and they were like, "Yo, fatty, get on the treadmill."
Wait, they bought you a treadmill in middle school? You were just going through puberty.
Those people were fucking mean to me. Why do you think I had to get out? I didn't even have bullies at school. My bullies were at home. Like, they lived with me.
Mom, you're so mean. Get in that locker. What?
Dad's giving me a wedgie.
Hey, go clean your room. Dork. Oh, man.
So they would like, we had the treadmill in like our small room, right? So they would be like, all right, go like do 30 minutes of treadmilling or whatever. And I would turn on the treadmill, would not get on. I would just have it on. So you hear it going, and I have the radio playing, and I'm like doing all this like choreography and shit. And I'm just like, you know? Have the radio on at like fucking Hot 97 or something, and I'm like, yeah, wouldn't it be so beautiful if I could like choreograph for like NSYNC?
It's gonna be me.
All that I do.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I really wanted to dance. I really wanted to be a choreographer as a kid. I think the thing is that entertainment was gonna be a big part of my life no matter what. Even in high school I was like, or in college I was like, oh, I'll become a lawyer. And I just love that I lied to myself so well.
There was a cavalierness about, I'll become a lawyer. All right.
I thought I was gonna do international humanitarian law.
Whoa.
I was gonna work at The Hague, and then Obama became president. I was like, well, fuck that. Like, the world's fixed.
They don't need me. I'm not the change they want. You getting back by the treadmill, just like, all right, it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me.
Oh man, we all wanted to be a Backstreet Boy. We all did.
We did, yeah. And I think my main inspiration growing up to get into like, to be an entertaining person in general was my dad, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he like do something like?
He was, I don't know if he ever, I mean, I saw like pictures of him like on stage one time. He was like dressed as like an old person. I think he was like playing like a character or something like that. I saw these pictures and I was like, yo, this is so cool. But even outside of that, he was just like always the life of the party. Always the life of the party. People came to our house, like, we didn't even put out invites or anything. People would just come, like Thanksgiving. Like, Thanksgiving is at our house, you know?
Yeah.
Because people were like, my mom's got the food covered, my dad's got the entertainment covered. You know? It was one of those things where, like, oh, we're going to go and we're going to have a good time. We're going to fight afterwards, but we're going to have a good time. In between.
You buy a treadmill, once again, tired. Thanksgiving, losing your shit. Yeah, that is a good thing about, you know, being in a neighborhood, you know, the hoods or whatever. It's like there's an importance in those moments and where you could just come together, but then there's always some chaos just in the back.
There's always some chaos. But yeah, and then my dad also had a restaurant and in Jackson Heights, actually, on 73rd Street, and it was a really poppin' restaurant, and like people would go in all the time, and they would be like, oh, where's Khalil Bai? You know, that's Khalil is his name, and Bai is like brother, like endearment, and like, you know, that's just what people call each other.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so
I just learned something new. Thank you.
Yeah, so they'd be like, oh, Khalil Bai, we're gonna go and hang out with him, and like people just loved his aura. People just loved him and his general like jolliness, you know, whatever. And he just brought this like very entertaining, very fun. He always had like these like impressions of people, always did like jokes and shit like that. And I think that that's really what inspired me. I was like, I want to be like my dad, you know, I want to be this man that everyone sees. And like, and I do think that I am there. I feel like, you know, my cousins will be really excited to see me, and I'm like, I'm depressed. Why do you want to see me?
Because you're jolly, secretly, externally. They can't see you inside.
Internally, I'm dying. It's all dead inside. But
your dad probably felt the same way.
Because now he's dead inside and out.
I gave you my best years.
It'll catch up to me in my 50s.
That's so funny. Oh man, I've enjoyed this so much. I've got some really good laughs. I'm hot. I'm so hot. All right, Zubi, I thank you. We're not done. I just got 2 more questions.
All right.
I always got these 2. I love you for it.
Love you.
1. I had to charge up the question. Yeah. For the choreography that we about to do. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-boo. All right. Lean in, look serious.
You know I can't do that.
All right. 1 question. When it comes to the entertainment industry, or more the industry of life, I like the way that sounded, so I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
The industry of life. What do you feel like has been one of your hardest things to overcome?
Getting along with white people.
Shit. I'm supposed to keep a serious face. Okay.
But no, I genuinely think that that's a problem of mine. And I think that you have the same problem.
You have no... There's no... I get along with many a white person.
Name one white person.
Alex. You know who you are. And James, you're cool, bro. Eric, you're also fantastic. And Irene. Don't ask me a last name. But okay, what do you mean by getting along with white people?
I think that growing up in New York, I had my guard up about white people, because I never really grew up around them, right? And Fordham was the first time I actually met real white people, okay? So I feel like I was kind of blindsided by a lot of them.
They took me by surprise.
It was like, you know, in the moment, like fake shit, you know? And then like you graduate college and it's like, well, what happened to Matt? Nobody gives a fuck about you, Zubi.
Oh man. So you feel like, you know, not understanding white culture was like a real dilemma you faced.
Yeah.
I can get that from most.
I didn't know Sweet Caroline until I went to college.
But you know it's gonna be May, because NSYNC was really universal.
Yes. That's not white, that's pop.
It's true. It's so true. I don't know many white. I know a lot of pop. Now that I think about it, I don't know white things. I know pop things. Wow. Wow. A lot of self-reflection happening right now. God damn it, Zubi, you got me. Well,
Yeah.
so, you know, Sweet Caroline, this is to all your white fans, because you got a couple. Yeah.
Hey guys, I love you.
just to compliment that question, give your wife, what do you want to tell your white fans?
Don't stop believing.
Oh.
Hold on to that feeling.
Dun, dun, dun,
People.
That goes out to
See,
the
I can get along.
What are you doing, a sales pitch? I hate it. All right. Well, we got to wrap this up because the NAACP is going to be really mad at this episode. All right. Last question. I always ask this every episode. Guys, y'all know what part of the episode this is. It's the series direct to camera. Yes. Just listen to, I'm just like the background ambiance, like I'm the narrator. Zubaira, this question goes out and it comes from the people who are inspired by you. They watch you and they say, I am Zubaira, she is me, we are one. What advice, life lesson, or gem would you like to give them to just send them along in a more positive way in their life? What you got for them?
No matter what it is that you're trying to do, always write. I think that writing is actually the best way to get out all your frustrations, to understand yourself better, to manifest even, you know, it's all about writing all of your feelings down. I think growing up, I did a lot of journaling and it was all angry shit.
But
Just write, man. Just write everything. You'll figure out something once you start writing, no matter what it is that you're trying to do. If you just write.
all right, guys. Well, we did it. We're at the conclusion of this episode, Zubi. I love you so much. I enjoyed this for real.
Come
on. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our episode. I'm Alex Babbitt. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Woo!
We did it! Hey guys, thank y'all for watching Behind the Micstand. If y'all enjoyed it, as I think you did, because you made it to the end, like, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button so you hear the subscriptions and shit. You know how it works. Just like it. Stop skipping this part and do it right now. What? Somewhere right here. I think it's right here. Right here. I think it's right here. Right here. I think it's right here.